Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that has the power to shape your life, to change your destiny, and to take you from where you are to where you want to be. That power lies in your habits. Success is not about luck. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It is about what you do every single day. It is about how you think, how you act, and how you believe in yourself. 1. The power of positive self-talk. The words you tell yourself matter. If you wake up every day and say, "I am not good enough," you are training your mind to believe in failure. But if you say, "I am capable, I am strong, I am unstoppable," then that is exactly who you will become. Your success starts in your mind before it happens in reality. 2. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is like the morning mist. It fades away. But discipline, that is your strongest weapon. There will be days when you don't feel like working, when everything seems hard, and when you want to give up. But those who win are the ones who keep going even when they don't feel like it. 3. Resilience in the face of failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a step toward it. The most successful people in the world are the ones who fell, who broke, but who stood back up every single time. When life knocks you down, don't stay there. Rise. Because every failure is just a lesson wrapped in disguise. 4. Consistency is key. A drop of water, when it falls on a rock once, does nothing. But when it falls again and again, it creates a hole in the hardest stone. That is the power of consistency. Success does not come from doing something great once, it comes from doing small things every single day without fail. 5. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. Your environment shapes you more than you know. If you surround yourself with people who complain, who give up, and who settle for less, you will start doing the same. But if you surround yourself with dreamers, doers, and believers, you will learn to think big and achieve more. Choose your company wisely. 6. Gratitude unlocks more opportunities. A heart that is grateful is a magnet for miracles. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do have. Gratitude opens doors, builds relationships, and brings more blessings into your life. 7. Your past doesn't define you, your actions do. We all have a past, some of it painful, some of it beautiful. But remember this, where you come from does not decide where you are going. Your past is just a chapter, not your whole book. What matters is what you do today, right now. Final word: success is not something out there waiting for you. It is inside you. It is in your daily habits, in your mindset, in the way you show up every day. So take control. Believe in yourself. Keep going, and success will find you. Your habits are the silent architects of your destiny. They shape your thoughts, influence your actions, and determine the direction of your life. Every great success story is built on a foundation of small, consistent actions that are repeated day after day. It is not luck, not talent, not intelligence alone that defines where you end up in life. It is the habits you cultivate. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. The power of habits lies in their ability to operate in the background, influencing your life without you even realizing it. If you wake up every morning with a positive mindset, choosing to start your day with gratitude and purpose, you set the tone for success. But if you begin each day complaining, focusing on what's wrong, or doubting yourself, you create a cycle of negativity that keeps you stuck. Habits are like seeds. You plant them with your actions, and they grow into the reality you experience. Successful people don't rely on motivation alone. Motivation is temporary, it comes and goes. What keeps people moving forward is discipline, the habit of doing what needs to be done even when they don't feel like it. Whether it is waking up early, exercising, reading, or working on their goals, they have trained themselves to show up consistently. They don't wait for the perfect moment, they create progress through daily commitment. Failure is not what stops people from succeeding, bad habits do. When you develop the habit of procrastination, self-doubt, or making excuses, you unknowingly build barriers between yourself and your dreams. These small habits, repeated over time, become major roadblocks. On the other hand, when you develop the habit of taking action, embracing challenges, and learning from failures, you create a mindset that attracts success. Every action you take either moves you closer to your goals or pulls you further away. It is easy to underestimate the power of small habits because they don't show immediate results. Eating one unhealthy meal won't make you unhealthy overnight, just as skipping one workout won't make you unfit. But when these actions are repeated daily, they create lasting effects. The same principle applies to positive habits. Reading for 10 minutes a day may not seem significant at first, but over a year, It can transform your knowledge and mindset. Saving a small amount of money each month may not seem life-changing, but over time it builds financial security. The small things you do every day over months and years define the life you live. Your habits are also influenced by the people you surround yourself with. If you are constantly around people who complain, blame others, and make excuses, their mindset will rub off on you. But if you spend time with people who challenge themselves, take responsibility, and strive for growth, you will adopt their energy and drive. Success is contagious, and so are mediocrity and failure. Choosing your environment wisely is just as important as choosing your habits. Another powerful truth about habits is that they give you control over your life. Instead of reacting to situations, you create a system that keeps you on track no matter what happens. When you train yourself to wake up early, to focus on solutions instead of problems, to keep moving forward despite setbacks, you develop resilience. You no longer depend on external circumstances to determine your progress. You become the master of your own journey. Changing habits is not easy, but it is possible. It requires self-awareness, patience, and commitment. The key is to start small. Pick one habit that aligns with the life you want to create and practice it daily. Over time, one habit leads to another, and before you know it, you have transformed your life. Success is not about giant leaps, but about the small, consistent steps that shape your destiny. The way you talk to yourself shapes the way you see the world, the way you act, and ultimately the person you become. Positive self-talk is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and success, yet many people underestimate its impact. Every thought that runs through your mind influences your emotions, decisions, and behaviors. If your inner dialogue is filled with self-doubt, negativity, and fear, it becomes difficult to break free from limiting beliefs. But when you choose to speak to yourself with encouragement, confidence, and positivity, you unlock a new level of strength and resilience. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly remind yourself of your weaknesses and failures, you reinforce a mindset of insecurity and hesitation. You begin to doubt your capabilities, hesitate to take risks, and fear stepping out of your comfort zone. However, when you replace those negative thoughts with empowering affirmations, you begin to rewire your brain. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," you say, "I am capable and I will find a way." Instead of thinking, "I always fail," you remind yourself, "Every setback is a lesson that makes me stronger." Over time, these small shifts in self-talk create a powerful transformation in your confidence and outlook on life. The world is already full of challenges, obstacles, and critics, but the most damaging criticism often comes from within. When your inner voice constantly tells you that you are not smart enough, not talented enough, or not worthy enough, you start to believe it. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant grows. If you plant seeds of doubt, you will harvest insecurity. But if you plant seeds of self-belief, you will cultivate confidence and courage. The way you speak to yourself determines whether you become your greatest enemy or your biggest supporter. Positive self-talk is not about ignoring reality or pretending that problems don't exist. It is about choosing to focus on solutions rather than problems, on progress rather than failure, and on strengths rather than weaknesses. Life is full of ups and downs, and everyone faces moments of struggle. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is their ability to control their inner dialogue. When faced with a challenge, a negative mindset says, "I can't do this," while a positive one says, "This is tough, but I can figure it out." The words you choose in difficult moments can determine whether you keep moving forward or give up. Your self-talk also affects the way you present yourself to the world. If you constantly criticize yourself, you carry that energy into your interactions with others. You hesitate to speak up, you shrink in the presence of opportunities, and you second-guess yourself in important moments. But when you practice positive self-talk, you walk with confidence, you take action without fear, and you attract opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Your thoughts shape your body language, your tone of voice, and the way people perceive you. Changing your inner dialogue requires practice, but it is one of the most valuable changes you can make. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to the words you use when you talk to yourself. Are they lifting you up or tearing you down? Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Once you become aware of negative self-talk, you can actively replace it with words of encouragement and empowerment. It may feel unnatural at first, but just like any habit, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Speaking to yourself with kindness and positivity is not just about boosting confidence, it is about shaping your entire reality. When you believe in yourself, you take action. When you take action, you create opportunities. And when you create opportunities, you build success. The words you tell yourself every day matter more than you think. Motivation is often seen as the driving force behind success, but the truth is motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind, fluctuating with mood, circumstances, and external factors. On some days, you wake up feeling inspired, ready to conquer the world. But on other days, you feel drained, unmotivated, and unwilling to take action. If success depended solely on motivation, no one would achieve anything meaningful. This is where discipline takes over. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. It is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is built on commitment rather than feelings. People who rely on motivation tend to start strong but lose momentum the moment things get difficult. They wait for the right mood, the perfect timing, or a burst of inspiration to take action. But discipline doesn't wait. It follows a set of principles and routines independent of emotional highs and lows. Discipline means waking up early to work on your goals, even when you would rather sleep in. It means exercising even when you feel tired, studying when you'd rather relax, and working when distractions seem more appealing. Discipline is the backbone of consistency, and consistency is what leads to real progress. The reason discipline is more powerful than motivation is that it creates habits. Motivation might push you to start something, but only discipline ensures you stick with it long enough to see results. Success is not about doing something great once in a while. It is about showing up every single day and making progress, no matter how small. Athletes train even on days when they don't feel like it. Writers continue writing even when inspiration is absent. Entrepreneurs work on their businesses even when they face setbacks. What separates successful people from those who give up is their ability to stay disciplined despite challenges, boredom, or difficulties. Discipline also strengthens resilience. Life is full of obstacles, and waiting for motivation to return before taking action can lead to wasted time and missed opportunities. Discipline allows you to push through discomfort and develop mental toughness. When you train yourself to follow through on commitments regardless of how you feel, you build the strength to handle difficult situations without breaking down. It teaches you self-control, patience, and perseverance, qualities that are essential for long-term success. One of the biggest myths about discipline is that it requires extreme willpower. In reality, discipline is about creating systems and routines that remove the need for constant decision-making. When something becomes a habit, you no longer have to rely on motivation to do it. For example, if you set a daily schedule for exercising, reading, or working on your goals, you eliminate the debate in your mind about whether or not to do it. It becomes a non-negotiable part of your day, just like brushing your teeth or eating meals. The less you rely on willpower, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined. Another advantage of discipline is that it builds self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you reinforce your confidence and belief in your abilities. But every time you break a commitment, you weaken your trust in yourself. The more disciplined you become, the more control you have over your actions, decisions, and future. Instead of being at the mercy of moods and circumstances, you take charge of your life with purpose and intention. Discipline is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. There will be days when you slip up, feel exhausted, or struggle to stay on track. But the key is to get back up and continue moving forward. The most successful people are not the ones who never fail, they are the ones who refuse to quit. When motivation disappears, discipline is what keeps you going. Failure is an inevitable part of life. No matter how talented, intelligent, or hardworking someone is, setbacks and disappointments will always be part of the journey. What separates those who succeed from those who give up is resilience, the ability to rise after falling, to keep pushing forward despite obstacles, and to learn from mistakes rather than be defeated by them. Resilience is not about avoiding failure. It is about facing it, embracing it, and using it as a stepping stone towards success. Failure often feels like an ending, a sign that dreams are out of reach or that effort was wasted. But in reality, failure is just a test of perseverance. It asks a simple question: will you give up or will you try again? The most successful people in the world are not those who never failed, but those who refuse to let failure define them. They understand that every setback carries a lesson, an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. Instead of seeing failure as a sign to quit, they see it as part of the process of mastering their craft, refining their skills, and reaching new levels of success. Resilience is built on mindset. People who struggle with failure often believe that mistakes define their worth. When they fail, they think they are not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But resilient people separate failure from identity. They see failure as an event, not a reflection of who they are. A failed business does not mean someone is a failure as an entrepreneur. A lost job does not mean someone is unemployable. A rejected application does not mean someone is not talented. The moment someone stops personalizing failure, they gain the freedom to try again without fear. One of the most important aspects of resilience is learning to embrace discomfort. Failure is painful. It brings feelings of disappointment, embarrassment, and frustration. Many people avoid failure because they want to avoid these emotions. But growth does not happen in comfort, it happens in struggle. Every failure teaches patience, humility, and problem solving. The more someone faces difficulties, the more they build the emotional strength to handle them. Over time, what once seemed unbearable becomes manageable, and what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Resilient people also focus on solutions instead of dwelling on problems. When they fail, they do not waste time blaming others, making excuses, or feeling sorry for themselves. Instead, they ask, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? What will I do differently next time? This shift in perspective transforms failure from something discouraging into something valuable. Each mistake becomes a lesson, each setback a chance to become better. Instead of being stuck in the past, resilient individuals keep moving forward with newfound wisdom. Another key to resilience is persistence. Many people give up too soon, not realizing that success often comes just after the point where most quit. The greatest breakthroughs often happen after repeated failures. Famous inventors, athletes, and entrepreneurs have all experienced countless setbacks before reaching greatness. They kept going, even when everything seemed against them. They understood that success is not about never falling, but about always getting back up. Support systems also play a crucial role in resilience. No one overcomes failure alone. Encouragement from friends, mentors, or family members can provide the strength to keep going. Sometimes hearing someone say, "You can do this," is enough to push through self-doubt and try again. Surrounding oneself with people who believe in growth, perseverance, and second chances makes resilience easier to develop. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of failed attempts, hard lessons, and relentless effort. Resilience is what turns those failures into stepping stones instead of roadblocks. It is the ability to keep going no matter how many times one falls, knowing that every setback is simply another chance to rise stronger than before. Success is not about talent, intelligence, or luck alone, it is about consistency. The people who achieve great things in life are not necessarily the most gifted or the luckiest. They are the ones who show up every single day, put in the work, and stay committed to their goals. Consistency is what turns dreams into reality, small efforts into big achievements, and potential into excellence. It is not about making big, dramatic moves occasionally, but about taking small, meaningful steps every day, no matter how insignificant they may seem in the moment. One of the biggest reasons people fail to reach their goals is inconsistency. They start with excitement and motivation, but when challenges arise or progress seems slow, they lose momentum. They go to the gym for a few weeks but stop when results don't come fast enough. They start a project with enthusiasm but abandon it when the initial excitement fades. They work on personal growth for a while but give up when obstacles appear. The truth is, success does not come from short bursts of effort, it comes from steady, continuous action over time. Consistency is what builds habits, and habits shape our lives. Everything we do repeatedly becomes a part of who we are. If someone consistently makes excuses, they develop a habit of procrastination. If someone consistently works on their goals, they develop a habit of discipline. The key to lasting success is training the mind and body to stay committed even when motivation fades. It is not about waiting for the perfect moment to act. It is about making progress every day regardless of circumstances. One of the greatest benefits of consistency is that it compounds over time. Just like small drops of water can fill an entire ocean, small daily actions can lead to massive transformations. Reading 10 pages of a book each day may not seem like much, but over a year it turns into thousands of pages and a wealth of knowledge. Exercising for just 30 minutes a day may not bring immediate results, but over months and years, it leads to a healthier, stronger body. Investing a small amount of money regularly may not make someone rich overnight, but over time, it builds financial security. The secret to long-term success is understanding that small, consistent efforts always lead to significant results. Consistency also builds trust in oneself and trust from others. When someone consistently follows through on their commitments, they develop self-respect and confidence in their ability to achieve goals. They no longer doubt themselves because they have proof that they can stay disciplined and persistent. Others also begin to trust and respect them because reliability is a rare and valuable quality. Employers value consistent employees, relationships thrive on consistent effort, and personal growth depends on consistent self-improvement. One of the biggest challenges of staying consistent is overcoming the temptation to seek immediate results. In a world where people expect instant gratification, patience is often forgotten. Many give up because they don't see quick progress, not realizing that success is a slow, steady process. The strongest trees take years to grow. The most successful businesses take years to build, and the greatest skills take years to master. The key is to trust the process, stay committed, and keep going even when progress seems invisible. Consistency is not about perfection, it is about persistence. No one is perfect and setbacks are inevitable. There will be days when things don't go as planned, when motivation is low, and when progress feels slow. But those who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never stop. They understand that showing up, even on the hard days, is what makes all the difference. The road to success is not a straight line, but consistency is what keeps the journey moving forward, one step at a time. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our mindset, habits, and ultimately our success. The saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," is not just a cliché, it is a reality backed by psychology and experience. The company we keep influences our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors more than we realize. If we want to grow, succeed, and reach our full potential, we must surround ourselves with growth-minded people, those who challenge us, inspire us, and push us to become better versions of ourselves. Growth-minded people have a way of expanding our vision. They see possibilities where others see limitations. They believe in continuous learning, self-improvement, and pushing beyond comfort zones. When we spend time with such individuals, their mindset rubs off on us. Their ambition becomes contagious, their resilience becomes a lesson, and their discipline becomes an example to follow. Instead of engaging in negativity, gossip, or complaining, they focus on solutions, opportunities, and progress. Being around people like this naturally elevates our own thinking and encourages us to adopt a similar perspective. On the other hand, being surrounded by negative or complacent individuals can be a major obstacle to growth. People who constantly complain, make excuses, or fear change can unknowingly drain our energy and limit our potential. They reinforce self-doubt, discourage taking risks, and resist new opportunities. The more time spent around such individuals, the more likely we are to absorb their limiting beliefs. Over time, we might find ourselves settling for less, avoiding challenges, and doubting our own abilities, all because of the influence of those around us. Growth-minded people not only inspire but also challenge us. They do not let us stay stagnant or comfortable for too long. They push us to think bigger, work harder, and hold ourselves to higher standards. They provide honest feedback, constructive criticism, and encouragement when needed. Instead of allowing us to settle, they remind us of our goals, potential, and the importance of perseverance. Having people like this in our lives helps us break through self-imposed limitations and strive for continuous improvement. The right environment fosters accountability. Growth-minded individuals hold themselves accountable and expect the same from those around them. When we share our goals with people who genuinely care about our success, they remind us of our commitments and encourage us to stay on track. This kind of accountability helps us remain disciplined and consistent, especially on days when motivation is low. Knowing that we have people who believe in us and expect us to keep pushing forward makes it harder to give up. Another powerful aspect of surrounding ourselves with growth-minded people is the exchange of knowledge and ideas. Conversations with such individuals are not just small talk, they are learning experiences. Whether it's about business, personal development, health, or creativity, their insights expand our understanding and introduce us to new ways of thinking. They recommend books, share valuable experiences, and offer perspectives that challenge our own. In this environment, learning never stops and personal growth becomes a natural outcome. Building a circle of growth-minded people does not happen by chance, it requires intentional effort. It means seeking out mentors, joining communities of like-minded individuals, and sometimes distancing ourselves from relationships that no longer align with our goals. It may be uncomfortable at first, but it is necessary for growth. Choosing to be around people who inspire us, challenge us, and believe in us is one of the most important decisions we can make. When we surround ourselves with growth-minded individuals, we set ourselves up for continuous improvement and success. Their energy, wisdom, and ambition shape our thoughts, habits, and actions in ways we may not even realize. The right people elevate us, empower us, and help us become the best versions of ourselves. In a world full of distractions and negativity, choosing our company wisely is not just important, it is essential. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces that can transform our lives. It is not just about saying thank you or appreciating what we have, it is a mindset that shapes the way we see the world. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we begin to attract more positivity, opportunities, and success into our lives. Gratitude shifts our perspective from what is lacking to what is abundant, from what is missing to what is present, and from complaints to appreciation. This simple shift in focus opens doors to new possibilities, better relationships, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Opportunities are often hidden in everyday life, but when our minds are clouded with negativity, doubt, or frustration, we fail to see them. Gratitude clears that fog. It allows us to recognize the value in experiences, lessons in challenges, and potential in setbacks. People who cultivate gratitude develop a habit of seeing solutions instead of problems. They approach situations with an open heart and a positive attitude, which makes them more receptive to new ideas, unexpected blessings, and hidden possibilities that others might overlook. Gratitude also strengthens relationships, and strong relationships are key to new opportunities. When we express appreciation to the people around us, our colleagues, mentors, family, and friends, we build trust, respect, and deeper connections. People naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel valued and appreciated. Whether in personal or professional life, showing gratitude strengthens bonds, improves teamwork, and creates an environment where collaboration thrives. When people feel acknowledged and respected, they are more likely to support, guide, and open doors to opportunities that may have otherwise remained closed. A grateful mindset also leads to resilience. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and failures, but gratitude helps us navigate through them with grace. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, grateful people see them as lessons and stepping stones toward growth. They understand that every difficulty carries a hidden benefit, whether it be a new perspective, an important life lesson, or an opportunity to develop inner strength. Gratitude transforms hardships into wisdom, making it easier to move forward with confidence rather than being paralyzed by setbacks. Another way gratitude unlocks more opportunities is by increasing self-awareness and self-worth. When we take time to appreciate our progress, skills, and experiences, we build confidence in ourselves. People who lack gratitude often focus on what they have not achieved, comparing themselves to others and feeling inadequate. This negative mindset blocks them from recognizing their own strengths and potential. On the other hand, those who practice gratitude acknowledge how far they have come, which gives them the courage to seize new opportunities without fear of failure. Gratitude also enhances creativity and problem-solving skills. When we focus on what is going right instead of what is going wrong, our minds become more open to innovative ideas and solutions. Stress and negativity cloud judgment, but gratitude brings clarity. It allows us to think beyond limitations and see possibilities where others see dead ends. Many successful people attribute their breakthroughs to maintaining a grateful heart, as it keeps them motivated, inspired, and open to new ways of thinking. The law of attraction suggests that we attract what we focus on. When we consistently focus on gratitude, we send out a positive energy that draws more goodness into our lives. People who radiate appreciation and positivity naturally attract better circumstances, supportive relationships, and unexpected blessings. They approach life with an abundant mindset, believing that opportunities are limitless rather than scarce. This belief alone makes them more proactive, optimistic, and willing to take action toward their goals. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice. It requires daily effort to appreciate the little things, express thanks, and reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. The more gratitude we express, the more we invite positivity into our lives. It changes the way we see the world, and when our perspective changes, so does our reality. The simple act of appreciating what we have today can open doors to even greater things tomorrow. The past is a place of lessons, not a life sentence. Too often, people allow their past mistakes, failures, or circumstances to dictate their future. They carry the weight of past regrets, believing that their history has already determined their destiny. But the truth is, no matter what has happened before, the future is still unwritten. The choices made today hold more power than anything that has already occurred. It is not the past that defines a person, it is the actions taken in the present that shape who they become. Every person has moments they wish they could change. Maybe it is a poor decision, a missed opportunity, or a painful experience. While the past cannot be rewritten, It also does not have to be a prison. The most successful people in the world are not those who never failed, but those who refuse to let their failures define them. They understood that mistakes are part of growth, not proof of inadequacy. Each new day offers the chance to choose a different path, to make a better decision, and to take control of the narrative. Some people hold on to past labels, things others have said about them, or identities shaped by circumstances. Maybe they were once called lazy, not smart enough, or incapable. Maybe they grew up in an environment that lacked opportunities. But the past is only powerful if it is allowed to be. The moment a person decides to break free from old definitions and prove themselves through action, they take back control of their story. Greatness is not reserved for those with perfect histories, it belongs to those who refuse to let their past dictate their future. Forgiving oneself is an essential part of moving forward. Many carry guilt or shame over past choices, allowing those emotions to hold them back. But growth isn't possible without mistakes. Every misstep, every wrong turn, and every failure carries a lesson that can be used to become stronger. Self-forgiveness does not mean ignoring past mistakes. It means learning from them and choosing to do better. It is about recognizing that every person is a work in progress and that redemption is possible through consistent action. People often fear that their past failures will follow them forever. They worry that they will never escape the reputation they once had, or that others will always see them as they used to be. But true change is undeniable. When a person consistently acts with integrity, determination, and resilience, their new actions speak louder than old mistakes. Time reveals character, and when someone commits to growth, those around them eventually see it too. The key is to focus on progress, not on seeking immediate validation from others. One of the biggest lessons in life is that pain can be turned into power. The struggles of the past do not have to be sources of shame. They can become sources of strength. Some of the most inspiring leaders, artists, and innovators have faced extreme adversity. But instead of letting those hardships break them, they use them as fuel. Hardships build resilience, and resilience creates unstoppable individuals. The past may have shaped a person, but it does not have to limit them. It can serve as a foundation to build something even greater. Excuses are often rooted in the past. Many people justify inaction by saying they were never given the right opportunities, that they started too late, or that they failed too many times. But the reality is, every moment presents a new choice. It is never too late to start over, to set new goals, and to prove that change is possible. Success is not about where someone starts, it is about how they move forward. The past can be a lesson or a limitation. The choice is entirely up to the individual. Actions define character more than history ever will. The person who chooses to be kind, to work hard, to take responsibility, and to push forward despite setbacks is always more powerful than the one who stays stuck in regret. The past may be unchangeable, but the present is a new opportunity. What truly defines a person is not what they have been through, but what they decide to do next. The power to change, to grow, and to create a new future lies in the hands of those who refuse to let the past hold them back.